welcome to Rolls of Redemption, where we redeem your Monday one roll at a time. Hope you grabbed your hydration or snack. Join us for this chaotic ride, where I start muted. Happy holidays.
Yeah, it's not quite the brand, but close enough.
I've got some leftover Ren Fair tattoos. They will be gone by tomorrow, but
Fun. Are they sticky yet?
They're very sticky. They keep sticking to the children and everything they touch.
Yeah, that's like the worst. With like, they're great to test out tattoos and like see if you want one in a particular spot, and then they get really sticky and get all over the fabric, and you're just like, oh, sorry.
Yeah. Oops.
Cool.
Yeah. We kicking it to Torkel or Nathan?
All right, here we go. Tonight we join the trek across the lake to the Castle Castile, already in progress. As the party makes their way across, water walking thanks to a trace of spellcasting, they finally encounter the Hallow. Unable to cross, Kai and Torkel's Pegasus Cave-in seem barred from entry, but the party has discovered that the Hallow only encompasses a narrow region, effectively functioning as a fence, keeping unwanted out in the Phantom's Inn. So to secure entry, Kai and Caven hop in Torkel's portable hole, laid out on water formed into ice, and approach, hoping to reach their destination before Kai runs out of air.
The clock is
Dum,
ticking.
dum,
Dun, dun. Clock is ticking. 10 minutes. Guys got 10 minutes before we have problems. Significant
And
problems.
you're about a minute into your exploration of the little area. So, once again, I'm going to set the scene. You have crossed over the huge lake, which took about 15 minutes walking, even with your horses trotting along the top of the lake. You pass through the barrier, and you now stand in this courtyard-style killing grounds of the Castile. There is a high wall that runs basically like a semicircle or crescent moon around. The center is the Castile itself, with a very high tower in the middle front part of the Castile. One thing you did notice is that at the end of the one wall, there is a small stable that is in extreme disrepair, has not been heavily used within the past few centuries. And then out from there is a very small little tower that you could assume would be the place where the stable hand might sleep. Based on your knowledge of the ethereal bridge that you cannot cross, but you do kind of know exists, it would lead very close to that part of the island. So we're going to assume this is an island. Atop the walls are a few archers with their bows out and hands-on arrows. Once again, these archers are phantoms, so they are green. They're essentially ethereal that you can just kind of see in the daylight. Atop the Castile itself are another few archers flanking and ready to rain down death upon all of you. And it is here that we pause. Two royal guards phase through the double front doors of the Castile, both going through the physical motions of opening the double doors with their one empty hand. They each carry swords at their hips. One of these guards is a lefty, one of them is a righty, and they have shields in opposing arms. In Elvish, they look you all over, having not realized that the doors stayed still because they're ghosts. And they speak in the Elvish tongue. What business have you with King Wilhelm Gaffney?
We've sort of been summoned.
Summoned by who?
Why do I talk?
More like
Someone
we
else
were
explain.
sent from the Mayor of Starcrown. We have his right of
Do you have
passage,
proof
yes.
of this?
Mina.
Who has
Definitely Mina. Mina carries everything.
She like digs through the little bag. Like, just a second. Yeah. Aha! See, right here. I got it.
One of the guards stays standing in front of the of the double doors. The other slowly walks towards you. His feet don't actually pass as he is floating, but you can see his hips and general thigh selves are walking, having no understanding that he's dead. He goes up and he just kind of passes his hand around, over and through. It looks to be fine. The king will tell. It is the seal, after all.
I'd give it to you, but I don't think that would. Never. I mean, it's fine.
No. I believe
No.
yes.
You
We
shall
were
give it
supposed
to
to
the
give
king.
it to the king.
Awesome.
May I have your names?
Mine? Oh,
Is this a trap?
Oh god.
No. It is. Oh, you must have dealt with the Fae before. Would you mind telling me your names that we might relay it to the court?
Oh, very well put.
Yes, thank you. Atreus, Barakian, my wife, Mina,
Okay.
the rest of the
Akir.
care.
Yeah.
I don't know if you
Torkel
guys.
died.
And I'm
Don't
I'm
use myself.
Torkel. Torkel responds in common. Yeah, common.
Because we're all saying our names, you could probably.
Because all of them are speaking Elvish, and I understand it, but I don't speak it, so I just respond in
And-
common.
Mina goes, and there's.
Names
Never
anyway.
mind.
Our pet bug
Nope.
has disappeared.
We don't talk about the
Right.
bug.
We should probably get inside.
There's a good chance some of them might
Yes,
know
yes.
about
It's
her. It's
a
probably best that we
breezy
don't.
out here or something.
Just a few moments. I will pass along your names to the court and see if they will permit you entrance.
Sounds good. Less than 10 moments.
You are. I will do my best.
Okay.
Haste does not seem to be the king's.
Oh,
He is
no,
wise.
great. Sounds good.
You are welcome to use our stables for your horses.
Okay.
I would not bring them inside, just out of sheer protocol.
Who brings horses inside places, though?
You would be surprised what some of the druids have tried to do.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
It's always the druids,
It is.
isn't it?
Well, we shall not delay you any further. Please.
Don't do anything rash or that you
I
know.
will keep them all under control.
Thank you. I will see you in a few moments. And he turns and, with absolutely no rush whatsoever, goes up, touches the handle, his hand passes through it, opens it, nothing actually happens, and he walks through the solid door and disappears.
Akira's
into the
going to ask
Castile.
Atreus, can you tell if we're inside the Hallow, outside the Hallow? Where does this line start and end?
You have Dusk. Why don't you investigate with Dusk?
Yeah, actually, that would be something that you would do way better at, like, if dusk. I mean, can I tell, like, just innately, or do I have to detect magic? And
You have to do with something.
yeah, I could spend 10 minutes casting detect
and
magic.
then
Do you
Kai
want me
would
to
be
do
dead
that?
very well. Akira
yeah.
is going to...
Dead,
Akira's just
suffocate.
kind of, like, going to pretend like he's stretching a little bit to ruffle his wings, and then pull Dusk out of the pocket dimension, like, kind of hidden from the guards.
I'm going to need a stealth or sleight of hand
That's
check
totally
on this.
We're just gonna go with
We
stealth.
are gonna be the biggest concerns.
Oh,
Not the Barakians
16?
today.
Wow.
I say ugh because I rolled a 3.
Yeah. Plus
Yeah,
13
plus
didn't help you
13.
there. It is good enough. None of the archers seem to take notice of the magical appearance. Just they note when dusk appears.
That there's an owl there, or like,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
In that case, okay, so dusk appeared, so that's a okay sign. I'm gonna have Dusk see if they can. Where should Dusk go? Dusk can't fly through the doors, right? Like normally.
No. I mean, they're
Yeah.
doors. Normally, bird
Well, I'm just making
objects.
sure. Are there any like windows, or how tall is the wall?
It's very tall. So the wall is about 4 stories tall, and is even with the general roof of the Castile. And then there is the single tower that goes up another 3 stories above that.
Okay. Then I'm gonna have Dusk try to fly up the wall as close to the wall as possible.
All right. You see 2 of the archers on the Castile itself watch as the owl goes, and one just kind of nudges the other. And while all the other bows are generally trained on you, this bow, still no arrow drawn, just kind of follows Dusk.
That's fine. I tell Dusk to keep going and see if they can pass the wall and just stay over top of Castile, not like dive down at all.
So Dusk is indeed able to get up and perch on the wall if that's what you're trying to do.
Can it fly? Can he fly over the Castile?
So the wall basically rings either side. Beyond the Castile, there is a smaller courtyard. So you're looking not to fly over the wall back towards the lake, but over the Castile.
Right. I'm
And
basically
beyond?
just trying to make sure that we could we could bring Kai out and they would be able to continue towards the center.
Yes. So that's exactly what happens. You do watch this archer just continue to train on Dusk, but nothing seems to inhibit Dusk
Then
from
I'm gonna
passing.
have Dusk come back to me. I believe Kai should be safe at this juncture. Shall we try to bring them out in the stable, where it will be a little less conspicuous?
Sure. And they should probably stay small, so if that phantom comes back, he just assumes that he missed them.
Yes,
All right, let's give
probably
it
a good idea. All right, so we're gonna lead the horses to the stable, and then probably try to line the horses up in a way that they block sight as much as possible.
Okay, I will let you roll this sleight of hand check.
To position things. Hopefully this
Position
works
things.
better.
Can
Nice.
can Torkel
28.
can Torkel help?
Akir
Oh,
doesn't need
well,
help.
never
I,
mind.
I was gonna.
Doesn't need help.
I think it's it's that combination of it's such a hard thing to do that helping would just make it neutral. It wouldn't necessarily give advantage. So yeah, in the end, a 28 is perfectly
Cool.
fine, and you're able to build a equine wall.
Akir is super stealthy.
We like pop the hole there and be like, Kai,
You still
you
alive?
good.
Hi. Yes, it's a little bit cramped in here with KB, but we're becoming fast friends.
All right, and you're breathing, so that's good.
And Torkel kind of mentally commands to Caven to just try to look horse-like, and her wings like fold all the way back in. She's just gonna walk out.
Katie's just like,
I'm echoing big time on your mic.
nay.
She's just gonna walk out with the wings folded back, like you just didn't notice I'm a Pegasus.
Whose horse is that?
Yeah, I feel like a Pegasus is
There
a little
needs-
harder to disguise than, Kai.
Okay. I'm gonna have Caven, just for shits and giggles, I'm gonna have Caven make a performance check.
To what, act like a
Let's
horse?
Just act like a horse has
Yeah.
been there the whole time, obviously.
It's a plus
I
3
mean-
to charisma. Let's just roll 20.
How horse-like is this Pegasus?
16.
Decently horse-like.
Decently horse.
Pretty horse-like.
Yeah, I mean, like if you didn't see the wings, it would be totally a horse.
Totally a horse. Cool.
So there are now 4 horses in the stable.
And
Yes.
a fairy?
And a fairy.
Probably shouldn't be a fairy. You should be something that doesn't look
Fair.
like a fae. Otherwise, they might
Fine.
be concerned by that.
I turn into a little gnome.
Great. We'll just say
Nice.
that you were like hiding behind Akira's
Yeah,
wings.
with the horse.
Oh, for sure.
Sure. Yeah. With the
Oh,
horse.
you missed this horse?
No,
The gnome was on
horse.
it the whole time. Did you not see the gnome on the winged horse?
That would be such a great deception check. I love it.
Yeah.
Akir will not be making that deception check. He is stealthy, not with his words.
Back to the gate
Um,
or wherever.
Back to the gate. You come back to the gate, and you see both of the guards there. And the one that spoke to you first takes 2 steps forwards. Welcome, welcome. Come on in. The court has agreed to accept your visit. I guess it's the easiest way to say that.
Excellent. Please lead the way.
Your horses are tied, correct? No chance of running off or causing mayhem, mischief.
Our horses aren't the ones you might need to be worried about having mayhem and mischief.
Yes, we tied
They're
them.
so well trained.
Haven, just stay with the horses, yeah. There ain't no chance Caven's tied up.
But Kevin is staying in the stables.
Sure.
Probably makes
All right.
sense.
Then
I'm not looking to get thrown out immediately.
He kind of looks, counts 5 of you. I'm so sorry, Master Gnome. I believe I must have overlooked you. I'm terribly sorry. What is your name?
You may refer to me as Master Gnome. And I like hide back behind Akir, pretending to be like, shy and such.
Master
We
Gnome
use them
is
as
quite
bait
shy.
a lot. We do use them as bait often. Master Bait is actually what we tend to.
Akir literally puts his hand in his head and just shakes it.
I'm scared to go click on the chat. I don't even want to know.
Nothing
is
has
happening
happened
at
yet.
this moment?
Nothing has happened. I
It's gotta
I
catch
said
up.
a terrible
It's
joke,
going to
and
catch
everyone
up so
has
fast.
cringed at me. So
It's well played.
I'm not actually that funny.
Every good joke. Do both guards in tandem pull open the double doors, which don't actually open, and stand there waiting for you all to enter the Castile.
And I'm going to approach it slowly and like try to like nudge it.
Oh, I was
like,
assuming that they
very-
opened like toward us, so I was gonna like walk over and put my hand on it,
Oh.
and then just like turn to the guard as I'm opening it to be like, "Thank you," and then go through.
Thanks.
All right, I want a performance check from Akira.
I can't
for
use
this.
sleight of hand again.
Mina's gonna assume they opened in and like push it and be like, oh shit. Okay.
I will give you advantage if Mina's over here
Oh,
distracting.
well,
them.
I'll
Yeah,
roll
but,
again,
like-
but I got a 17.
This
All right,
is
17
yeah.
is where it's staying.
17's worth saying, and 17 is beautiful here. They seem a little perplexed, but it's just like how when you're like life glitches sometimes, or you have a moment of deja vu where you're going, something's off, but it's fine, and you just
Your brain just
keep
can't
swimming.
comprehend what just happened.
Yep. So it just kind of makes the best of what it does understand, and the one enters with the first person. So who's taking lead here?
I guess
Not
I
me, I'm
am.
hiding behind Akir.
I was probably up there too, since I was by the door that Akira.
We'll say
successfully-
Atreus and Mina are in the front, and then Akir, and then Kai, then Torkel.
Sure.
Although
Torkel-
I don't speak
Torkel
Elvish,
should
so
probably do
you.
most. Oh, that's true. I was gonna say Torkel should do the talking for his persuasion, but he doesn't speak the language.
Been around the world.
How
speak
long
the
does it
language.
take to teach someone a language?
Like 100 dedicated days.
Oh, I mean, I could waste a. I mean, it wouldn't be a wasting a spell slot, but I could use a spell slot and cast tongues if you wanted to be able to speak.
Let's find out if the king speaks anything other than
If-
Elvish before.
If you think I need to talk, we can do it. I can understand what's going on though, so it's not gonna be annoying for anybody if I don't understand, or like if I can't talk.
Hydrate.
We got like 20 minutes into the stream before
I
a
know.
hydrate went off. That's
They're letting
impressive.
us off easy.
Everyone's
Yeah,
tired.
we're moving the story.
I
Yeah.
know we were all drinking through our barbecues today.
Yeah.
Hydrate
thanks.
again.
Okay, William Wall,
Okay,
catching
Doc.
up.
I said
you.
it. I said it. All right, so the Barakians enter. The one phantom steps right behind you, and then steps up beside you to the right of Mina. This hallway is absolutely exquisite. If it weren't just so dark and decrepit, the tapestries are truly 2 stories high, but they have fallen to great disrepair over the last 8 centuries since the menacing happened. They're torn, they're weathered, but as you look and see, you can see the building of the Castile in one. You can see the first royal family in another, walking further and further down this dark, echoing hallway. Very little light actually gets in, which you're kind of used to here in the Dreadwood, and your footsteps echo and echo as you all move in finally. The only light being behind you as the door remains open. After 5 or...
Do I
Go ahead.
recognize any of that ancient stone around here in the castle?
give me a perception check or an investigation check.
All right. Perception incoming. That's a 15.
There's nothing here in this initial entryway that seems to match the description of the stone you once.
Okay.
You know, you're always kind of
Could
on
I
the
do
look
a
for.
perception for anything that might indicate information about the menacing?
Sure.
I'm not sure if they would have. They seem to be mostly unaware, but I don't know if the king is unaware or not. So, 22.
You're just strolling down, so there's definitely been some living beings here over the century. I mean, the mayor himself said he had traveled here. He is again 1,000 years old, but he's traveled here since the menacing. He came here to meet with the king, and so while the upkeep of the castle, specifically this hallway, seems to be lesser, you could probably poke around a little bit and see if there are things, secret doors, benches. You know, all of these seem to be, all the benches and whatnot seem to be also having fallen apart. Not so much out of neglect as much as there's no use for them. So why repair them?
Cool.
So it's not, so you don't see anything just because you're not actively able to see anything. There could be.
Well, and it's just a hallway, so I didn't expect them to have a
It's
big,
just- yeah.
carved portrait of this is what happened in the menacing. Although that'd be convenient.
Yeah. The last tapestry is indeed what you kind of would be looking for. So as you've been going down, there have been hallways that shoot out left and right, every 30 feet or so, just kind of indicating how far into the Castile you're actually going. You've passed a total of 3 sets of hallways, and the last tapestry is the newest one, still 800 years old and falling apart, but it is the king, which Kai recognizes from their scrying. A woman about his age, a little younger, and a young girl, probably in her teens.
A young girl in her
And
teens.
we are good to assume that those are his family members who got sick and he was trying to save.
Had
Yep.
we heard about the girl before? Okay. All right.
Yes.
I just forgot about it then. Cool.
Do you actually remember what it was? Because I don't.
So what did we
I think
supposedly know about this?
What did we know?
they were getting sick and with an unknown illness, and the king was trying to figure out how to save them, and I think went too far, and that's what caused the menacing.
Or he like.
Have I told y'all that my wife is super smart? Because my wife is super smart. And I don't like. I definitely remember none of that. So I'm very dumb.
Was it the mom and the 2 children that told us the story? 2 of us were listening. It's fine.
Yes. Yes, it was.
Oh, see, it makes sense that
So-
Akira would forget because he was busy trying to still things.
The mom was talking, and he was just like searching, and we're like, yeah, and about that. I think it was.
Yeah,
me that
yeah, I
timed
get it.
out,
I've
so
got
it's
no
fine.
I
excuse.
truly
I got
contribute
it.
nothing to this stream, so
Spiritual weapon.
Spiritual
You
weapon
sing and make
sometimes.
terrible jokes.
You bring joy to me and all of us. So yes, that is exactly what you do remember is the mom and daughter were getting sick. He exhausted all regular means and eventually became so desperate that he sought some form of immortality for the 3 of them. And in his recklessness, created the menacing.
But the immortality only happened to him, right? Or
I mean, he's
Are
not
there-
really immortal.
well, no, I know, but like, have we heard any indication that they did survive? Okay, so they're either gone or phantoms, most likely.
Or you've never asked that question.
We're gonna find out.
I mean,
You're gonna
I
find out.
thought they had passed away beforehand, and then like the gods cursed him or something, right?
It was kind of all happening in that same time frame.
A relatively short period of time, 800 years ago.
Anything else anyone would like to do before you enter the throne room?
Since I have history with courts and such, can I get a sense of like who around here is important? Which of the phantoms?
Also,
I mean, these 2 are just guards, so they're palace guards, so they're the cream of the crop, but neither of them seem to be any higher
Akira's
rank than
gonna
another.
try and ask Kai quietly, is there any chance that the king would know who you are?
I have met him before, in a very different form. Obviously, I have no proof.
So we're
So
just
best
gonna
not
keep.
to mention your name.
Yeah.
Would prefer if we did not.
Excellent. No names.
Just keep calling you Master Gnome.
Exactly. Clearly, I am Master Gnome.
Wait, you've met him before, so like, were you guys like on good terms?
Baiting.
You weren't
Really,
good.
Robert? What about my my history makes you think I'm on good terms with anyone.
Well,
That's
That's
fair, that's a good point.
that's really fair.
but
Okay.
were you
well,
aligned on goals or against each other's goals?
Now I actually need to figure that out.
It would have been really good to have this discussion, like, not now. But here we
okay.
are.
All right. All
Quite
right. All
right.
right. We're just gonna go in. We're just gonna go and do this.
I mean, ideally, only my goals matter to me. However, we did
Of course. Normal Kai shit.
exactly.
I mean, sorry, Master Bait shit.
It likely does not matter at this time because his alignment may have changed in the last 800 years.
Oh, you don't say, Akir. You don't say. And Kai just
I
looks
take your
directly at
point.
Atreus.
We're having an argument in the hallway.
will
All right,
discuss
Nomi,
this
friend,
later.
let's go. Let's just go. I'm gonna go now. I'm going. We're going.
We're going in.
And then just note
I
the,
do have to ask, Kai, do you have inspiration?
No, I do not.
Because the fact that you kept your little squeaky gnome voice, you are getting inspiration.
Yay!
I am very impressed.
And just a note for the DM, KV has like standing orders if anything funky happens to just mental relay to me. So
Okay. So if the music gets popping,
yeah, if Prince walks in the door, like you hit me up. Because I am there for the show.
Purple would be the opener, and nobody would actually want to see Prince. They would just be like, "Who's this? This is cool."
all right. The guards again reach for the door, pull, and stand at attention, just kind of gesturing for all of you to enter, and the very ornate gold inlaid doors don't budge. It's got huge knockers on them that it would probably take
does.
both hands to hold
Of
on
course
to.
it does.
The gold doesn't have any real depiction other than as you watch it and your eyes train up, the doors are giant sized. You could easily fit a frost giant through here without them having to duck. You would assume that this is done for the sake of any sort of emissaries that come from all over the lands and worlds, that any reasonable creature would be able to enter the court of the king without any major issues or feeling particularly put out. Up well above all of your heads, the symbol that you found in the ghost language is emblazoned in gold. It is a symbol of Wilhelm Gaffney. Wilhelm Gaffney.
Akira's going to try and pull the same thing to not confuse the guards too much. But also he's going to just like mumble to his group. You'd think with, real visitors, they would have figured something out by now. This is performance, right?
Yep.
Not as great. That's a 10.
You try and do this like little fancy maneuver, and you realize this door is way heavier than you can casually open. It was kind of interesting that these elven guards would even be able to one-hand these in the manner in which they did. As you kind of scratch your beak a little and
Can I help?
grimace,
Does it
the
require
doors-
help? Or are we
the
good?
doors open for you.
Oh, that's
Convenient. They did figure something
Unsettling.
out.
Good.
super good. Maybe they
And-
didn't, and maybe the king did. But okay, yep.
It's one of those cool ghost powers where you can just manipulate
Hmm.
objects.
Love ghosts. So much fun.
that's not concerning.
But that does mean that the king is aware beyond what the phantoms are, which is a good thing. Hopefully. Well, we kind of already assumed that with the fact that he's supposedly luring us here to kill him.
Yeah, I think he's self-aware, as self-aware as a dead guy can be.
At least half as
Post-fucking
self-aware as
brain.
Atreus.
Hey,
He's
I'm self-aware.
Hey, I said half, which gives you credit, I think, depending on how
Uh.
self-aware he is.
Okay.
All right. I only shared this with Nathan as I was creating this. Oh, this was back in March. That's how long I've been planning this entrance into the hallway.
Yeah, we fucked around a little
Um,
bit. Sorry about that.
But just a little
we
bit.
had to find out.
Or not,
So,
or not find out.
Please forgive my horrible, terrible AI generating art. This happened, and it was so bad I refused to try again. So this is what I'm sticking with. I'm going to describe the room to you so you can hopefully have a better mental image than what I'm going to put in your heads. So if you are not on the Discord, you should hop on the Discord into stream chat with spoilers, because I'll be posting a picture there of the most awful thing I have created with AI art yet.
Good.
So the double doors open towards you, and you see the large court. This is a combination throne room and banquet hall. Lining the left-hand side of the room is a table that seats easily 50 people all at once. On the right side is a second banquet table filled with plates that are empty and skeletons in every chair. These skeletal figures have been sitting here for, again, hundreds of years, generally untouched by any mortal being. Only time itself has taken their toll. The flesh has fallen off their robes, their garments, their beautiful jewelry still clinging to the corpses of the once were guests. The food has long since rotted and been removed, and you see some of them have bowed their head into their plates, some of them have fallen back rested, many of them just sitting as they were when the menacing took place. As you look around, you see another probably 20 guards in various positions. Not the phantoms themselves specifically yet, but you do see the empty and hollow armors that would basically just be statues having fallen asleep or fallen against the wall as the menacing took their souls and displaced them. Furthermore, on the far end, about 100 feet ahead of you, is a raising dais. Up on top of it, you see a large throne. To its immediate right, you see a nearly just as large throne, bathed in silver. The main throne is bathed in gold. And then a smaller throne off to the left hand of the king, made out of copper. The two side thrones are completely empty, their cushions having been worn with time, no longer vibrant red or anything that matches the dismal dreariness of this room. The splendor that was here has been faded and lost. And standing in front of the golden throne is our dear king. Well, floating in front of the throne.
Was that an audible typo? Did you mean our dead king?
Yes.
Good, thank you.
Our dear, dead,
Dearly departed.
dearly departed, not nearly departed, long since departed.
Isn't that like a Prince reference as well? We really are having a Prince party.
I thought that was a Haunted Mansion reference.
I feel like there's a Prince song
Close
that
enough.
like talks about dearly departed or something like that.
So, as you look at this incorporeal form of the long dead king, his hair still wisps. He is different from any phantom or ghost you have seen, as he seems to be in complete and total control. His form preserved from the moment he was separated from his body. The only thing that has changed is this look in his eyes of just emptiness. Uh, he stands currently with one hand outstretched at the doors, and you can see how he has manipulated it to open them for you. And as they open, he gestures, "Welcome to my halls. Come, come and sit." And he just kind of unceremoniously whips his hand out and grabs a couple of chairs with some form of telekinesis, spills the remains of the guests, and then one by one makes a little semicircle down in front of his throne of 5 chairs.
Mina's gonna like walk up and like look down at the chair to make sure it was like clear of all remnants and like okay.
I assure you, they do not mind.
Yeah.
I mind a little, but thank you for your hospitality.
I would offer food, but there is none to be had here.
That's fine.
We're good. We ate before we came.
I was only given the knowledge of 4 of you coming here. Who is this?
Our friend.
And you see his gaze pierce down the hallway, and the phantom just kind of shrinks.
It is-
I assume he's talking
Yeah.
about me.
It is our misunderstanding. We neglected to give the 4th name. They do not go by a name per se. We just call them Master Gnome.
They're just really small. They're just really small.
They get in free to most theme parks.
To seek your acquaintance, Mr. King.
Then you must be the child of Faerun.
Oh,
Well.
fuck.
For I don't think Atreus traveled all this way for something without his friend. And he just kind of reaches down, and a pouch lifts up and into his hand, and it just kind of hovers there.
So is it...
I just had a bad realization. Haven's not here. I have no fucking
All of
clue
this
what's
is in
going
common.
on.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
Yeah.
I
Oh.
assume the king is smart enough to speak
Yeah,
more
he
than
also
one
orchestrated
language.
this. So
Yeah.
Akira's gonna
Yeah.
say...
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And at this point, Mina's just gonna slump down the chair and be like, "Oh, okay, so that's how this
Oh,
is
Akira's
going."
not
All
sitting.
right,
Akira stays
do-
standing behind his chair.
Atreus will sit. All right. So you have us here.
Is it safe to say that you have orchestrated essentially everything that has happened since we entered these woods?
Well, I have orchestrated everything to get you here, since your fool died at the old alchemist's house.
What?
Oh, fucking
Rewind.
Magnus.
I mean, I sent my people after his body, brought him into the Dreadwood, and your lot couldn't even bother coming after his body, his corpse. I left trails for you.
We're a little busy back then and new to this whole thing.
I'm s-
And
To what end?
We weren't even friends with him.
we barely knew each other. You were putting a lot of trust in people.
Beside
you didn't
the
know.
point.
I put trust
on
in
you.
one thing,
Mhm.
and that is the Sword of Eusidia.
You didn't even. Never mind.
Were you even the sword of Eusidium at that point?
No, I wasn't.
No, he was not in your time. But the lore and the legend stands. Your father knew that you would become that which he could not.
This is a mind fuck.
Mina takes out her flask and is like, all right,
Yeah, Atreus takes it from her after she's done. There we go.
You see
I'm
his
sorry.
face almost like twitch in two, and a soft expression. Like there are these two forms of his face, as if like this dueling humanity takes over for a moment, and he longs for the whiskey you have, and then it snaps back.
So, okay. Sorry, we didn't get your call earlier. I frequently forget to clear out my message box. We're here now. What the fuck do you want?
I would like to die.
Great.
A
How do
strange
I kill
request.
you?
Have you talked to a psychiatrist about that?
I killed the last one that came here.
Great. How would you like me
That's
to
not
do this
helpful.
for you?
He realizes he's still holding the pouch of soul coins, and he just kind of hurls it without hurling, just mentally throws it at Kai. So Kai, make me a dexterity saving throw.
Uh-oh. Oof. That is a 10.
It hits you right in the tiny little gnome chest.
Oh.
It doesn't hurt, but it doesn't feel good either.
Do I have any indication of whether or not he recognizes that, like, Fairy's child is the person he's dealt with in the past?
He doesn't seem to. He's not giving anything away in that regard.
Oof!
You would need to pursue that line. You would need to pursue that line of questioning. Oh, all my
I think I would rather
all my
not.
white hair. Sorry, let me get my
Oh.
old man hair out of the crown. It's all stuck in there.
Kai just goes, oof! I'll take gold.
Sorry, wrong bit. And he turns back to Trace. Well, much like your father, I lost those, or at least was losing those that I loved. He sought immortality for himself. I sought immortality for my family. When they began to darken, I made a deal with a Tao. And
A what? Sorry.
a genie.
Good. So smart.
It was in love and desperation. I'm sure.
You say darken.
No, love and desperation.
No, you said when your family members darkened.
Yes, they began to die.
Oh, you just meant die. You didn't mean, like, fade physically
No,
or so.
no, the disease was rotting them, and they were
I see.
dying.
Hmm.
And so I did what any good father would do. I searched out a way to help, to save my child. What I found? Well, it brought all of this. I'm sure at this point you have heard
And
the
what
poem. You have heard
was
the noise. You have heard how all of this must be solved.
Why don't you enlighten us, sir?
As part of the wish, the Tao included a curse. In order to sustain myself with my wife and my daughter, he ripped my soul from my body and banished all of our bodies into the realm of the ghosts.
So you need me to go to the realm of the ghosts and kill your body there or bring it back here?
It needs to come back to the elements, to the crossroads, whether that be here or you bring it there.
Okay.
Either way, when my soul is reunited with my corpse, all of this will end.
The whole curse of the Dreadwood.
Yes.
The fucking.
Okay.
So we just return your body here so that you can find it.
Yes.
Do you know where it is? In
In
that
the
realm.
dungeon.
Where? I'm sorry.
In the dungeon.
And you can't go there?
No.
No.
I
Let me
cannot
guess.
cross
It's
into the
hallowed.
plane of the ghosts. And my body cannot come back here.
Has no
So-
one else tried to help you with this?
Oh, hundreds, and they've all died.
Which
Look
I
at
assume
look at the lake.
which I assume means that the dungeon is now more dangerous now than ever before.
Oh, very few have ever even passed to the other side.
So I can assume. So I'm sorry. What makes you think then that I will be able to succeed here? If so many have died doing this.
And give me a moment. While he remembers the poem, I don't remember it off the top of my head.
Is it that same poem that we've heard before?
Yes. So he recites, "The land corrupted, the trees deserted, the water plagued, the air poisoned, unlife mingled with the living. Sunder from the mingling, the four still the menacing."
That doesn't exactly rhyme.
It's in
No,
Elvish.
it's terribly helpful.
The four still the menacing.
Air, earth, fire, and water.
And what part do you believe those
Long as that
play
limit.
in the stilling of your body?
The realms are structured as such that this world, where my spirit and your everything exist, is the crossroads between the four planes of the elements.
I see. So
If
it
my
simply
body was
refers
returned-
to the material plane.
Yes, to end the menacing. Alright, I'm taking this crown off. It's just sliding.
I don't suppose you could make this easier on us by commanding none of your phantoms and ghosts to, attack us while I try to go get your body and figure all that shit out?
I mean, I could.
That would be extremely helpful.
And you see his finger begin to glow. And a light appears on Atreus' forehead as the symbol that you saw written in the ghost language, the king's symbol, emblazoned on the door, begins to glow slowly as he draws with his finger on your head. And after a few moments, you have this glowing sigil that then fades.
Ah, the Mark of Cain. Good. Excellent.
Mina, you can still see it.
That looks this is very pretty. So this on his forehead is gonna protect him
Yes.
and us because I don't really like when he goes away by himself.
Love, I have a plan.
Yeah.
And I don't want you to give me that
Plan that you
face.
will not be executing on your own.
I might not be able
Got
to.
any spare sigils?
Akia, though,
to-
it might not work for you.
I have
Listen,
considered
listen.
that, yes.
If I can cross into the mist, whatever the shit is, by just crossing over, right? I then can banish myself back to this plane. But if I do that to you,
Just because we are not joining you in that plane does not mean we are not coming along to find the corpse.
Especially since
that
the
makes me
planes all
feel
converge.
kind of better. That actually makes me feel better. Thank you.
Still looking at the king. You don't have the ability to do that again.
I could give it to you all, but what purposes? You may command the phantoms.
Oh,
He can do that. Yes.
that's
Even at
cool.
night.
Oh no, nothing at night. I have no control over myself.
So
At
best to be
night.
done
Do-
before nightfall.
Do we know what the sigil means? Like, have we seen it anywhere else? Does it have a meaning? It's just
It just seems to be this king's personal emblem.
Right.
Can I?
And yes, you all, well, at least the Mrs. Barakian must go.
Mrs.
I agree with the Royal Highness here.
Okay. Well, we'll go get your.
I'm sorry, but I'm just gonna
Mortality
go back.
sorted.
Must, as in, is there more to the story I don't know? I agree,
One shall-
but must, I need to know why you're saying must.
One shall come, carrying the light of the sun before the starlight.
I mean, she is sunshine incarnate, but
Are you saying
That
that
has the
she is the
starlight crown.
starlight?
Is it maybe this? Which I don't currently have with me.
Betrayal!
Sorry.
Yes.
Yes.
okay.
Knew this would come in handy. Yeah. Good. Yes. Good. Good.
You look great. Yeah. Okay.
He does not seem to look surprised at all that you have.
I need to know how my father knew any of this shit. And also, why did you give him a title?
Oh, well, you see, he came to me looking for me to join the Eclipses.
Yeah.
And after spending time, he realized I've had no intention on ruling or ending the world, and eventually came to understand that I wanted to finally be put to rest. And after he attempted, failed, the title was payment for his attempt.
He attempted. He tried to help you.
He tried to kill me, but yes,
Was he unaware of the need to return your body to this plane, or incapable of doing so?
I am not aware.
God, I fucking
not-
hate this man.
Seen him since.
So you gave him this task and the title as payment, and you just have not heard of it from him since. Did you give him anything else? Or access to anything else? Or information of anything else? Such as how to travel through planes?
He has the same sigil as the young Lord Barakian. And he also has my scepter.
What does that do? That's kind of important information for me to know.
It allows travel to the plane of the ghosts.
That would have been fucking convenient. But alas,
You still must have the magic. You understand how planar travel
No!
works.
Refresher
No.
course, please.
Only those of the highest magics may simply gate to and from.
uh-huh.
Typically, you need a token, a tuning fork, as many of scholars call it, a key that opens the plane. If you don't know what plane you're going to and you have nothing to tie you there, you jump through the worlds with nothing.
All right, so how am I supposed to get to this ghost plane?
There is a portal in the dungeon.
There it is.
That
I
we
knew there would
can't
be one of
access.
those eventually.
You may access. You merely must go down.
Is the portal a doorway? As in, we would not all be able to follow?
No, it is quite the opposite. It is surrounded. It is amidst the three sepulchres. The body where my wife should be. Sorry, the tomb where my wife should be, where my daughter should be, and where my body should be laid to rest.
Cool.
And we will be able to return back through it from the other side.
No one ever has, but
Something we shall have to
In
test.
lies the problem.
Any other questions, or shall we be on our way?
I am curious what you know of this fairy person. And I like dangle the coins.
oh, just that they were partially responsible for the cataclysms that happened during my grandfather's time.
Oh? How so?
Not much more than that. The political trauma that they inflicted upon the world through the Sul Empire led to an uprising that burned down civilization.
Ah,
And a counter attack that led more destruction than anything my simple love might have done here.
That's so good to know. Super
Interesting.
safe.
I take it that like Fairy has never told me any of this.
Harry doesn't know any
That's
of this.
true. But like what about in like a past life?
You were also part of all of this.
I thought I was asleep or in the Feywilds.
Or this was when you were
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
Yeah. So I apparently Fairy never saw fit to tell me this.
That's right. You were in your Phoenix
Yeah.
stage.
When the
And all this
cataclysms
went down.
happened.
Not,
And I
not
guess
even on this
Fairy
plane.
Never told me. Damn, Fairy. Cold-hearted bitch.
Give her back her soul. See what happens. I mean, what?
I'm scared to do that.
We're gonna go with a hard no on that, and
Mhm.
Akir will
That'd be
use
a
force
big
to
no.
enforce that no.
Yeah, yeah. Atreus will fucking help.
You know.
We're like, yes, we're learning to trust Kai. We will not be extending that to the bird.
Sometimes,
Invitation revoked.
sometimes a fairy's a cat or a lizard. You know, there's options.
There are. All of them.
We
factor.
should save any significant experimenting until we're somewhere that is not here,
You know,
Okay.
preferably once the menacing is ended,
at minimum.
at minimum. Any other questions, or shall we be on our way to the dungeon? I'd rather
I
not
think we're
waste
going to
too
the
much
fucking dungeon.
daylight while we
I
resolve
have
this.
a logistical question. If
All right.
I released Fairy's soul in the ghost realm, is that the best option for Fairy's soul? Because, like, we've established that we can't really destroy it, otherwise Fairy, as we know it, will die. And we don't want to give her back her soul. What if I made her soul a ghost? Would that save her from being able to be, like, killed when the soul goes? Would that save her from being able to get her memories and her soul back and go on a, another psychotic?
So yes, that would protect the familiar that you have. It would just be releasing a very evil ghost into the ghost realm, where lots of evil ghosts are. So,
I mean, there are worse things. Fairy wanted to take over the entire world. Why not take over the ghost realm?
all right, if we have no other questions, then my friends, we are going to call it here for tonight.
That sounds good to me.
Bit of a shorter
can always-
stream
Yeah.
after a holiday because everyone is all sunburnt
Yeah.
and tired.
Thank you all for joining us. It was a pleasure.
And we will see you next week.
And don't forget to come join us in the Discord to see what shenanigans
Shenanigans.
our players will get in.
Shenanigans.
Shenanigans again.
Yeah, we
Canonary.
might, try and find the dungeon in the Discord, so you don't want to miss that. Where we could all get
Exactly.
trapped,
That'd be fun.
or Akira could get shunted back to the airplane, and that would suck.
You're not gonna let that happen.
Find out who dies in the Discord.
Great plug.
Yeah, join the Discord to see who lives and who dies and who tells their story.
Oh, and in case you want this clip for TikTok, find out who unalives in the Discord.
Thanks.
Follow Janine on TikTok.
Gilded J.
It was great.
Good time.
Hope everyone has a great rest of their week.
Bye.
We're all just gonna go sleep
Yeah.
these allergies.
Thank you all for joining us.
Yeah.
Follow the Discord, and we will see you
Bye.
next week. Bye, y'all.
Bye.